Alright guys, welcome back to the first update on Tropical Cyclone Remal, which is pretty much making landfall right now in Bangladesh, the India border, as well as you can see in the satellite imagery, a huge system spreading heavy rains across the entire area, and you can see it actually organised quite well before its landfall. However, it wasn't going to get extremely strong, mainly due to the size of the system. A huge system, systems like this tend to struggle to organise. This actually organised quite decently an approach to landfall, and now you can see we have this system encroaching on the coast right now as we speak. So there's probably some inclement conditions going on there. Strong winds, probably up to category 1 equivalent gusting, and pretty strong amounts of rainfall along the coast as well. Currently the maximum sustained winds are at 70 miles per hour, which is 60 knots, a minimum central pressure of 974 millibars. It's moving north at 13 miles per hour, and this is information provided by the real-time ATCF interpolated data as of about 1800 UTC. So it is making landfall right now along the coastline, so we're going to be seeing some inclement conditions in the Bangladesh-India border region right now. Take a look at all the estimates here. We have the JTWC still at 65 miles per hour. They are due to update like right now though. I won't be surprised if they go with the real-time ATCF of 70 miles per hour. The JTWC Dvorak's at 65, the real-time ATCF's at 70, NOAA ADT's at 65, CIMS ADT's also at 65, DEMS Dvorak's at 65, and DPrint is also at 65. There's not really much of a consensus for 70, but that is what the real-time ATCF is currently going with, and a lower pressure than the JTWC. So we'll see if the JTWC actually upgrade it. They may keep it the same though at 65. Take a look at the forecast cone. This was their most recent one at 12Z. You can see 65 miles an hour there, expecting it to make landfall, and then by 0C weakening to 60 miles per hour, and then continuing to weaken as it continues to move inland. Of course, sea surface temperatures aren't really much of a factor anymore. The storm is making landfall right now. Of course, the conditions it were in were pretty favourable, and you can see that wind field, huge wind field on the storm, because of course the storm is absolutely massive. Take a look at the Havs A wind swath here. You can see decent winds, potentially up to around 50 knots possible, as you can see. Pretty clearly room for 50 knots. It could be higher though, up to 60 knots of course along the coast, and you can quite clearly see not really going to matter much now anyway, because the storm is making landfall. You can see inland there we could be seeing sustained winds up to around 40 miles per hour in some areas, so we're going to have to watch out for that possibility. The rainfall is the main threat here, and you can see that one area in Myanmar they're getting up to 32 inches. I presume that's like a mountainous area of some sorts, but you can see widely we're seeing around 16 inches falling widely, so pretty big rainfall threat. This really isn't a wind threat at all. This is definitely a rainfall threat. As it continues to plow and land, you can see the rainfall just continues to fall. Minimums at least 4 inches in parts of Bangladesh. Really, all of Bangladesh is going to get at least 4 inches. We could be seeing up to 16 in localized areas though in Bangladesh. And you can see that continues up into the parts of the Himalayas. So it's going to be quite a wet storm in that sense, but it's looking like the wind threat isn't as high as the rainfall threat right now. Take a look at some water vapor imagery here. This really shows you how moist this storm is. I mean, look at this. This is incredibly moist. I rarely see colours this bright on this imagery, and you can see just look how bright those colours are. That's basically how moist the upper air is, and really moist there. Literally no dry air near the storm really. You can see loads of dry air off to the west in parts of India, but you can see where the storm is currently right now really moist, and that's how it's going to be continuing to plow all of that rainfall down in parts of Bangladesh, India, and potentially Myanmar as well, as this storm continues moving up to the north and eventually northeast region. Take a look at this is the IR imagery. It's not daytime right now, so this is the nighttime IR imagery, and you can quite clearly see that central area there is just barely in India, about to make landfall in that region, and it will be continuing. Of course, the rainfall will be continuing, the strong winds will be continuing along the coastlines, potential for, like I said, 70-mile-an-hour winds sustained along the coastlines, and potential for gusts even higher, and heavy rainfall potentially up to 32 inches in one part of Myanmar, but widely 16 inches possible falling from this storm system. Anyway, thank you for watching this update on Tropical Cyclone Remal. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next update. Peace out.